Mikaliu. I don't know how to get it.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
She fell in love with the brother, and after knowing that they shared both parents, she went away and started living as a single mother with her children. We visited when they were living in extreme poverty, and the house later fell down and they became homeless. But today, they can now smile as they got support from different people who contributed on givinglife.com. This is the update. This woman lost both parents at a young age that she does not remember how they looked like, as she was still a toddler. Her and other siblings were scattered and raised in different families. Due to such a life, she never got a chance of even going to school, as no one was willing to pay her school fees. She grew up in difficult life conditions and later went to the city to find some job opportunities. And that's where she met the brother. They never knew each other. They met as strangers, later became friends, then fell in love, developed a special bond between the two, and later proceeded to living together. And of course, produced children and had a big family without knowing that they were related. As days passed, some relatives noticed that the two had an incest relationship and went on telling them how they are related and everything about their family. After knowing that, they were ashamed of themselves. For them to find out the whole truth is that after making a family, they invited some of the relatives. And when relatives visited, they were shocked of what had happened. They were told they're related. Since knowing that they were biological siblings sharing parents directly, life has never been the same, as it was a beginning of suffering at its best. Domitila started hiding herself from the public, having known that what they did was shameful. After knowing this, the society started blaming them, calling them cowards and other disrespectful names, and added that that's the reason they even produce children who look abnormal as a result of their incest relationship. All these three children face a big problem of being bullied, being the reason they have to go alone, walk alone and play alone, as other children always go away from them and no one seems to be happy with them, all because of the description people give them. Children on the other side have been the victim of what their parents did, as they are physically challenged, making their lives difficult. Later on, the father failed to fulfill his parental responsibilities and never cared on providing for her children and family in general. The mother had to move out and stop living with the brother for the sake of her inner peace. But that was a more complicated task than it seemed. When we visited, she was struggling with life as a single mother, as she had no job and affording what to eat was always difficult to the family. The day we visited, it had been 5 years since the bond between the two siblings broke. Even neighbors could notice that this family was having and experiencing a worse life, but they had no way of helping them in terms of money. But something was certain. The house was the first priority, since the one they lived in lacked everything for a house to be called a home and was likely going to fall down any day. That did not take too long, as after our first visit, among people who visited her was a prophet, and she told the woman that due to what her and the brother did, that 10 worse things are going to happen to her. And this did not take too long, as heavy rains later fell, that no one would risk their lives living in such a house. They started wandering around the streets homeless. and later were given a house so that they would spend there a few days until when they get money for affording rent. After airing their story, we returned to checking on them, but says life even become worse. We had a surprise to the family as we told them to prepare themselves and follow us to somewhere they never knew. And both kids and their mother were curious about what that might be. They had in mind maybe it was something else. After the story was aired, a campaign to helping them was created, and the goal was to help them get a house. And with money contributed, we bought them a house nearer in their neighborhood. And the surprise awaits.
Mikaliu. I don't know how to get for
Yeah, just
Yeah,
yes,
The wait is over and this is her house. But her reaction was priceless as her and her children jumped and danced upside down, celebrating something they could only dream about, now coming to reality when they needed it the most. The house is full of every basic need, starting from seats, beds, TV and many more, for the house to be called a home and for them not to be bored whenever they're at home.
byandenze ahubwo nabagezemo umumaro muri abo bose mubashimire ntako bategeze ko muroko y'umuryango munini cyane bo mukihabwa inzu y'isigo aya mahirwe rero sinzi ko yaba kuri uyu muryango ko nabonaga nta n'ikiza kizatuho ko nta muntu waduhaga agaciro.
She thanks each and everyone who contributed to making this and adds that since Afrimax visited, she could see signs that soon or later should have a good and better life, as many called, talked to her in an encouraging and supportive way, hence sending her some money. They needed a lot more to survive, and we bought a lot to help this family, as we knew the mother does not work and has a lot of children who need to eat daily. We bought a lot for them, starting from different kinds of food, namely rice, beans, posho, soaps, cooking oil, and many more. They cannot stop thanking anyone and cannot stop smiling, starting from their mother to children, from the lastborn to the firstborn. They're happy for such a day that they'll keep on remembering for the rest of their life. She went through a lot that she reached at a certain point where she could not pay attention to anyone who motivated her due to living such a difficult life. She had totally lost hope and never thought of something positive happening. But today she says God is great and adds that despite losing hope, she always prayed, asking God for help. And finally, her prayers were answered. This family was also given some money to help them in case they need something extra that we forgot and did not include. And as your eyes can tell, they are really happy compared to the previous time when life tasted bitter. But now they're grateful. Though there are some people out here still blaming the mother, others understand and tell her to keep going and not to lose heart. The family still needs more and more to survive. But now what's next is children's school fees. To keep helping the family, you can contribute on the link found in description and pinned in top comments. If you find yourself among those who are currently struggling in their lives, or if you're feeling less confident in your future, always remember that difficulties and adversities viciously force all their might on us and cause us to fall apart, but they are necessary elements of individual growth and reveal our true potential. We have got to endure, overcome and move forward, as hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.